Hello students. In this class of cost accounting, I will be taking the topic costing. We have already discussed about the meaning, objectives, characteristics of operating costings. In this class, I will be discussing about the transport costing. How is transport costing determined? We have already discussed about the suitability, in which industries it is suitable, cost units, build up of a cost, it is made up of two costs, fixed cost or standing charges. Now I will be taking the transport costing. Transport is one of the services performed by air, water, railways, tramways, roadways, goods carries, etc. And such businesses naturally take to the method of operating costing with a view to finding the total cost of each vehicle and then applying it to the unit cost. To calculate the operating expenses, following work should be done. First of all, collection of service expenses for specified period, division of collected expenses between fixed and variable expenses, calculation of units for service rendered, calculation of per unit cost by dividing total expenses with units, adding the profit in per unit cost, and take the decision as for fixing rates per passenger per kilometer or per ton kilometer. Now, how do we accumulate operating charges? For each vehicle or generator or pumping set, a logbook is maintained and record and various details during a given period of time. So, the following informations are given in the logbook: how many kilometers traveled in a day, how many passengers or goods carried in a day, how much petrol or diesel used, vehicle number, amount of policy, amount of road tax, and other taxes, maintenance and running cost, cost of vehicle, estimated working period and scrap value, name, address, salary of driver and conductor, and record of running time, etc. And then classification of expenses accumulated is done. It is divided into two parts: fixed charges and variable charges. Fixed charges are license fee, insurance, road tax, garage rent, salary of the supervisor, office staff, director's fees. They are fixed, they don't change. Interest on capital, wages of the driver, conductor, cleaner. If they all are paid on time basis, on period basis, so they are fixed charges. Then we come to variable charges. They only occur when there is some movement: depreciation of vehicles, cost of petrol, diesel, mobile, grease, and other lubricants, wages of drivers and cleaners if paid on mileage run basis, repairs and overhauling expenses, oiling and service charges, wear and tear of tires and tubes, gas and electricity charges, etc. Now we come to the point of determining the unit cost. The determining of unit cost of passenger vehicles and transport vehicles is determined on the basis of per passenger kilometer and per ton kilometer or per quintal kilometer respectively. Now what will be the cost of carrying per passenger per kilometer or transporting 1 ton goods per kilometer? For example, if 8 ton material is transported to 20 kilometers, then the total ton kilometer will be 8 into 20, 160 ton kilometers. So there are two methods of calculating these ton kilometers. First is absolute ton kilometer and second is commercial ton kilometer. Now what is absolute ton kilometer and what is commercial ton kilometer? Uh, In absolute 10 kilometer, the distance between two stations is being taken into consideration for the purpose of calculating 10 kilometers. But in commercial method, the total distance is taken into consideration. In absolute method, the calculation being done on the basis of actual weight carried in transport, but in commercial method, calculations are done on the basis of average weight into total distance covered. Absolute 10 kilometer is relatively easier. Method of calculation is easy. In commercial method, calculation is based on average, which is comparatively more difficult. In practice, we use absolute 10 kilometers, but the reliable method is commercial ton kilometers. I can explain you with one example. Suppose one truck starts from A station with 10 kilometers material, out of which 4 tons material delivers at B station and rest is unloaded at C station. From C station it takes 8 tons of material and goes back to A station. So it starts from A station, goes to B and C station, and then it again comes to A station. Now the distance between A to B is 40 kilometers, B to C is 60 kilometers, and C to A is 50 kilometers. Now, if we are to calculate the total ton kilometers according to absolute ton kilometers, we will be taking each journey into consideration. Each journey means, first of all, he has gone from A to B. So, A to B, he took 10 ton material. Okay, and the distance is 40 kilometers. So, 40 into 10 amounts to 400. And then he went to C. Uh, but what he did, out of 10 ton material, he unloaded 4 ton material at B station. Okay, so now the left out material is 10 minus 4 amounts to 6. And the distance between uh, B to C is 60 kilometers. Okay, so the distance between B to C is 60 kilometers. So 60 into 6 is amount to 360. Okay, and then what he did, the rest of the material is unloaded at C station. Uh, but from C station it takes 8 tons of material and goes back to A station. Then we come to C to A. First of all, A to B, B to C, now C to A. C to A, what they did, it took 8 ton material and the distance between C to A is 50 kilometers. So 50 into 8, it amounts to 400. So when we add 400 plus 360 plus 400, it amounts to 1160 ton kilometers. So in this absolute ton kilometer, we took the distance between two stations is being considered for the purpose of calculating ton kilometers. Now we come to second method, that is commercial ton kilometer. If we apply commercial ton kilometers, then what will be the cost unit? So here what we do, we take total distance covered. Total distance covered means distance of A to B is 40, distance of B to C is 60, and distance of A to C to A is 50. So 40 plus 60 plus 50, it amounts to 150 kilometers. So total distance from A to B, B to C and C to A is 150 kilometers. Then what we do, we take average tons carried, we multiply it with average tons carried. So first of all, from A to B it took 10 tons, then from B to C it took 6 tons, then from C to A it took 8 tons. So 10 plus 6 plus 8, we will finding out the average. Average means we will be dividing it by 3. So 10 plus 6, 16, 16 plus 8, 24. So 24 divided by 3 amounts to 8. So then what we do, we will multiply the total distance into the average ton. So 150 into 8 amounts to 1200 ton kilometers. So according to commercial ton kilometers, the total cost unit is 1200 ton kilometers. So in this example, by returning from C to A station, the truck is not loaded at all. So according to absolute ton kilometers, unit will be 0, which is practically not correct. For delivery of goods from B to C station, the coverage of distance between C to A is necessary because the truck will return to its original station. Hence, commercial kilometer ton method is more reliable. So, in this class, I explained about the transport costing, accumulation of operating charges, classification of expenses accumulated, and determination of unit cost. We discussed about two unit cost, that is absolute ton kilometers and commercial ton kilometers. I hope you all understood this class and thank you for this class.